Hello, this is Gerald Johan van Waas. I thought it was a good idea to have a couple of approaches and mix them together. There's one approach of the meaning of letters and sounds as they are described in my theory. There's also, yeah, understand what's beyond our language of English or comparable languages from the Western European origin, and also look at the other scripts like Chinese or Japanese and see how much they can be understood from the same idea that letters have a meaning. And they can, of course, be understood from all these angles, and so people already know, like for instance, if they already know the Chinese script, they also will know these things from a different angle, so that even that could be interesting to show this and so on. I'm just gradually learning Chinese. It is go very slowly, but I can already make some conclusions based upon what I know from the letter positions. Of course, the letters and the sounds are not that important to the Chinese language, because it's not so much a language which is based upon the letter combinations that make sense. Because if you can hear, when you hear a word on its own has no meaning. You have to have the context. So the context and the contextual references are much higher than in Western languages, and so I will also come to that philosophy, how that works, how I see it, and how it helps me to understand the language. I could, of course, make mistakes on its way, that I could do something better, but I base myself upon what I know. And so from that basis alone, there are already ideas that you could use or not use. It's up to you, but I can use them, and I will tell you what I understand also from these words. I will start with this first word, which appears quite a lot in Chinese. You will see this word more often, and I will tell you where it is used, how it is used, and how you can compare it, even to other languages. And the word also exists in French, for instance, as le. And of course, I base my theory upon the estimation how we see the world. We see the world from our vision of letter and letter combinations, from a very much an idea of that we want to see the physical relationships as quickly as possible in space, preferably, but also, of course, also some references in time, and some references can only be understood by via context. That's the basis of also the words, and also the basis of the letters with the Roman letters. Of course, that's our context, and my whole theory is built around this order. But you can use it also to compare it, and as well to other languages and other scripts. From this basis, from our vision, how we see the things, they can be compared, and that can make it interesting. So, of course, I was going to express le. So, where is the le part in in my screen? So, we had the first order was ATK. When we move our vision a little bit, that we are not so sure anymore in our estimation process where the object of focus is, we have a split up focus in U, where as part of it is no longer followed and another part is followed. We have also a split up position from what is taken out as a form, like in T, that you can recognize a form, you can recognize something that we can measure. Also there, it's a bit off, so some of the form will also be off. That will be the L. And at the end, where we can see the limits, also there, it's a split that we don't estimate these things so well anymore because it's slightly moved. So also there we have the letter B, where things are changing in form and so on, and changing in general. So we follow that approach in the B. Basically, we had a rhythm of understanding, which I had here in ATK in the middle. You have that there, with the moved vision, with the moved position. Actually, this wave is following a slightly adapting rhythm, as you can see there. It's adapting towards what is changing in the form. You see, it's well expressed there. That's the way how we approach the L. If we see the vision there, from where we can see T. T is then the expression of what is to be measured. It's in the vertical position there. What can be measured, and that we put in the position of T. When this position is a bit unclear, this position is a bit, yeah, it is also fluctuating, and if we would put and would associate a form there, this form will have fluctuations. That's why L is about taking shape, something that is taking shape, and it can take several shapes because of these fluctuations. And that's a very good example how the shape of the L looks like that it is forming in an irregular way. But it is about le, so the word is le, so you also have the letter in the Roman script. Is written with e. E is about time, and time measurements are the measurements that I can see. Where is it off in time? So if something is moving a little bit away, we follow that part. Is the shortest way to express e. You have and e, three kinds of expressions of the written letter e. The is the shortest one. It's also the shortest way to express the physical reality of what is changing. In this case, the le is in the physical space and reality, what is forming, what is changing there. So actually it's just saying in expression of letter meanings, it is le is the time frame, but is such a short time frame of this physical variation that it is not more than simply the time to come to this form. So that's the range of what we have in focus. So le, it is just only the time that it takes for a form to take shape and to receive its shape and to come to its form. We also expressed in a slightly different way. You have it like that. I could have it with some movement, but actually you don't necessarily need a time frame, but it has its own time frame in which something is formed, and we can see immediately the results in the physical forms. Now we compare it to the Chinese word of le. The Chinese word will focus not on the physical plane as we did here in the Western world. We first focus on the physical plane in the letters that are expressed in letters. Let's say symbols then, or the scripts forms. I don't remember the English word again of Chinese. you have a focus mainly first on where is the orientation of the combined letters of the sound of the word in the time frame. So the round circle is the spatial frame, the square is the time frame. It are also the 4 seasons, if you like. And then in the full context we will have, of course, a combined form that we can conclude afterwards. We always have these 3 positions, which in some other video I will explain also which order you come to the conclusions on what each symbol, let's say, describes. Now the A is our physical reality, and it's also from there we start our activity. The activity is forward, it's horizontal, and each letter in the Chinese script, each symbol, let's say, in the Chinese script is subject to the activity, or the to get into this activity, get into this motion, get it into the reality, forwardness, and the dependency on a transformation process. If you have the balance of 4 seasons, or the balance of yin yang, it always will have a transformation, that some things will survive and others will not. This is the basic transformation you will always have. And the transformation itself in sound, where it will get something out of it in spring. I can have the vowels also in the 4 seasons, if you like, when it's coming out, and you can make something the sound is or e or if you like, from the physical plane. So you have this work frame, the working frame, the time frame. Is the part that says I can make something from it. But we will not make something from it immediately. We will stop at the physical point of reference, where we notice what we have. So we stop immediately after the activity, the transformation started, and then we see what we have. The L is the shape that we will create, the shape that we can do something with. We have the results. It's ready for the results out of a transformation process. We're ready to put it into any kind of process, but we will not look at the process. We will not show the results. It's only about the shape and foundation that we have. So le, if we look at it, where it has been used in French language, le is, you have le and la, they are it is like the. So it is defining also the object, and it surrounds it also gives it a reference frame of saying, okay, here it stands on its own as an object. But even things like areas like France, you can't say France. You say you have to use le or the France or the region and so on. You have to use this word le. Where is it used in the Chinese script? You can hear it a lot of times. Once you say, for instance, I have read this thing, and it's in this kind of situation, then you suddenly hear le, because then you have the first part of reasoning. It's framed in this time frame. You don't do anything with it yet, but it's the le ends it into the physical state before you already see the result. So that's the le. You have what you have. It is what it is. It's the shape as the shape it has on its own. It shows itself. It's the shade that we have. That's how you use the word le. I hope this was also clear enough, and I also hope this gave a different angle, maybe to the things you already know or don't know. This was already part 2 of this kind of approach. This approach will continue in the next couple of videos. Thanks again for watching. The approach to understand scripts is to be found in the application of the word or in the Sounding Form volume 1 and 2, of course. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.